This is Vugastar Talenta Show. It is your boy Lani, Tukondani, Hong Kong. We're so lucky today to meet one of our best friends here. He's a renowned artist by the name Mj. How are you, bro?
Fine.
You good?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Vuga Talent Show.
Thank you so much.
I think we just bounced into you as we were walking inside here, and we are so happy to host you in our show. Before we move in that much, there are few things that I would have liked to ask you about your music career. You have a lot of fans, you are so famous in the camp. Kindly brief us, how did your career or the music, when did you realize you are a musician?
Okay. Thank you so much to all the people who are listening here. I go by the name Mj Official. Yeah, so I realized having talent since 2017. That's where I started writing songs. When it reached 2018, that is my first time to record. Yeah, that's where I started.
Mostly where you specialize? Do you do hip hops, R&Bs, reggae, all this stuff? Which is your best music that you do most of the time?
Yeah, I do R&B and sometimes zouk. Yeah, that's the type of music I do.
Can you kindly try to explain to us who is the biggest artist that you have ever collaborated with? Or something like that, the biggest artist that you have ever collaborated with since you started your music career?
Okay, the person I have started with it is Logic Man. Yeah, we recorded I think last year I think, yeah.
Just to be very specific, you know, most of the time, like let me just be straightforward with the African cultures. You know, most of our parents, they don't support our children, like their children, to be musicians. You can see that difficulty sometimes when you are a musician. Your parents or your friends will be against that thing. They say that you may be focused on the studies.
Yeah.
So can you, in few words, tell us, are your parents supportive? Are your friends supportive, or they are against your talent?
Okay, so my parents were, at first, they were not supportive at that, like they were seeing as if becoming a criminal or something like that. But after some time, they saw like I was doing something good and they encouraged me to do that. Also my brother, who is my elder brother, he also supported me and he used to tell me that keep working on and one time you will be artist.
That's so good. You know, many artists in the camp that drop out or they have leave music because of such reasons, you know. So how do you convince them, someone who have maybe encountered such things before, and you are so much with that, you are so strong, and you have convinced your parents and your friends and maybe your big brother? What did you do? What are the approaches that you did to convince them that they don't even like to support you in music, so that the other people, like other musicians who are musicians, to learn a thing from you? What did you do?
Pardon.
Okay, I was saying, yeah, there's a way that you have convinced your parents. First, you said they were against your music, and now they are supporting you. What did you do so that they support you?
Okay, so the first time why they were against me was like, the type of music that you do that will show you that you are someone who is criminal a bit. But at last they saw me, I was mixing a bit, like I do cultural music and I do also the modern music. So at the time when I entered doing cultural music, they started supporting me and they say if you make them like that, yeah, you support you and like it. So that's how they started, and I also tell my brothers who are facing those challenges. So the thing you should do, like, you also need to make your mom happy. If there is something you have ever been like, if you have entered a show and you end up getting something, you a bit come home and you help your mom. You give him something and you give her something. From there, she will learn that you are doing something great, and in the end you will help her. So that is how it is.
Okay. Based on the things that you have said, what have you learned in the process where your people were not supporting you, and the last they supported you? What have you learned? What is the lesson that you have learned from that process of the transition?
Okay, the lesson is that your mom are always the best, and also your father is always the best, and your relative too. So at the first, I was feeling like they don't love me or they don't like me. At long last, I saw them. What they were demanding from me was like I finish my school first, and then after that I enter music. But since I have convinced them and we talk, they understand me, and they also tell me that you just continue and continue with the school also. So don't quit the school, because both of them are also helpful at the end of time.
What inspired you to be a musician? What did you see in yourself? What made you to be a musician? There's always that one thing that inspires someone.
You know what inspired me, like, is, when I was a kid, I liked to sing songs. Also, secondly, I was choir in the school, and also Sundays in the school. Like, I mean, I was Sunday school in the church, and I was a choir in the church also. So from there, I like singing a lot. And when I come out, when I see people performing in the show, that one give me a lot of moral. And also, I saw myself that I can do it one day, one time. So I started singing. Like, from there, I find myself like I have created a song. So that's why I studied it actually.
Well, that's so great. We're happy about him. He realized his talent, or the talent was unleashed when he was in the church. He was a choir, and he was also a Sunday school. And that's where he realized his talent, that he was gifted. The other thing that I would like to ask you, MJ, who's that musician that inspires you a lot? There's always that artist that you look up to who inspires you. And what quality have you seen in that person that inspires you, that specific musician?
Okay, the musician that has inspired me is Meddy from Rwanda. There's someone who knows that. So that guy, he used to sing love song, and also the voice and the tune. Those kind of music are the music I like mostly. And that's what makes me like, one day I can be like this person.
Okay, that is great. Now let me say you started recording your first song in 2018. From 2018 till today, I think it's about 4 years.
Yeah.
Starting from today, 5 years from today, or 5 years to 10 years from today, where do you see yourself? Where do you see your talent? Where will you be? The category you will be in? What accomplishment will you have made by then? 10 years from now, where do you see yourself as a musician? Okay, like,
everyone has a hope of making something in some years to come. So for me right now, I'm a bit famous because, it is not like before, because at some time back, it was like other people, but right now, when you get to my text, people text me a lot and encourage me that we have heard your music and you're doing good, like something like that. So I thank God for that. And in 5 years or 10 years to come, I will be at the level of East Africa. Yeah, in God's will.
That is so great. Now the other thing that I would like to ask you is a very simple question. Yeah, which skill have you gained, or what skill do you have? Like, it is something that you have as a musician that make you a better musician than others, or make your fans love you more. For example, you can see an artist who's a good dancer, someone who smiles good, all this stuff. So what skill do you have that make you a better musician, or that make you perform effectively?
Okay, the skill I got is creativity. That's the best thing I have. And also I have good tunes that I make in the song. Sometimes when people hear my voice, they don't believe that it is me actually. Yeah, so those things, give me a lot of fun and people like it.
And what are the other qualities that you have that make you a good musician? When you look at yourself, there's some time you'll sit down and say, oh, I'm a good musician, I'm a great musician. Because of these qualities, what are the qualities that you think you have that make you a good musician or a great musician?
Okay, at first, when I perform, in my performance, I used always to entertain people, and people like it a lot. Secondly, I don't like making myself so famous or looking down to people. So that thing I don't like. I used to socialize with a lot of people, and I know people are the same and we are in the same level, though I'm a musician. So we are still human. So I still associate with people a lot, and that's how people like me.
Okay. Wow, that is so good. That's so good to know. Apart from music, MJ, apart from music, out of music, what is the other thing that you have, the other talent or the other interest or the other hobby that you do apart from music? Do you have anything that you do apart from music?
Yeah, actually, I'm schooling right now, and by next year I will be finishing my Form 4. So that thing, I like school a lot, first of all, and I also like music. So I'm doing both of them, and I like them, and I wish to finish in school and also to be best in the school and be best in the music. Yeah.
Do you have any weakness? What are your weaknesses as a musician? Can you tell us your weaknesses? And how are you working on your weaknesses for you to improve?
Okay, like so far, my weaknesses are, sometimes recording songs is a bit tricky because, as I have said, I'm still studying and I got no job right now. So after some time, I will overcome this weakness. If I finish my form 4, so I will start looking for a job, and from there I will be recording my music easily, and that is it.
You have touched something to do with recording. How expensive is it to record a song? How do you record one song? And where do you record your songs most often or most of the time?
Yeah, so recording right now is something like 2,000 Kenyan shilling, 1,500. It depends on the studio. And I used to record. At first, I was recording. I was like recording in the studio of Annex producer in Topland. And some time back, I recorded also in a studio known as Star Production. I made my cultural song there. And I'm looking to be recording in Hope Studio. There's a new studio that has been made last month. Yeah.
Have you ever participated in any other music competition or music festival? And have you ever win any prize?
Yeah, actually, last year I performed in Kakuma, and I went to the final and I won a prize. I was Kakuma winner, and I won position 3 there, and I got an award here.
What category were you competing in?
I was competing in R&B.
Okay. Wow, that's so good. I'm happy to hear about that. What's your process for dealing with performance anxiety? Because most of the musicians, when you look at them, immediately you enter the stage, there's always that anxiety, the fear, and all this stuff. How do you deal with such things when you go to the stage?
Okay, sometimes I don't fear because, when you come to the fun and you entertain them, you socialize with them, they feel happy. What fun don't like mostly is when you pretend yourself, like making yourself famous or something big, that thing make fun also is always jealous of you. But for me, I'm always socialize with them and I make them happy. So when I come to the stage, I used to come and do funny things that will make them laugh, and also from there, they get entertained, and also, they support me a lot, and I don't fear on the stage.
Oh, that is so great. I'm happy to hear of that. He's self-confident. Now the other thing that I will ask you, you are a great musician, you are famous and known in Kakuma. That means you have interacted with so many musicians. What is the great advice that a musician or your fellow colleagues who are musicians have ever given you, an advice from a musician?
Okay, the best advice that I have been given is, mostly people used to discourage you when you are doing something good. And the good advice I've got is that, someone told me that when people discourage you, because sometimes people can come and tell you that you are not a good musician and you are posing talent, something like that. Sometimes if you are not that serious, you can give up. But for me, people told me that keep going. And what you will discourage them is, when you produce a lot of good songs, they will turn as your fan. Yeah, so that is the best advice I've ever got, and I work on that, and that was the good answer I have got.
Wow. That is so good. Now to be very specific with you about this thing that comes. Doing music sometimes is kind of complicated.
Yeah.
It has a lot of challenges. How marketable is music in Kakuma? Does it really pay?
Okay, music pays at some point. So like when you're invited in some shows, you have to charge someone because that is a job also. So I get paid on that. And also in the competition like Kakuma Botala, when you did well and you get that position, you'll get a lot of money. So for me, last year I got $350. That was a huge amount. Yeah.
Okay. Who trained you to be a musician, or have you ever trained anyone to be a musician, like someone you have once mentored and is now a good musician in the camp?
Yeah, so I have never been trained by someone, and at some point I trained someone, and it is not good also to mention the name because sometimes it is like you are bringing the person down. So I have ever trained someone, and that person is doing good right now.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good to know. I think that was all. One more question that I would like to ask you is about the Vugastar Talenta show. We call musicians to our show. This is a way of branding them. It's a way of exposing them. And maybe there's always that clue that you might have about the show. Can you tell us how do you feel being here, and what do you think about this show, Vugastar Talenta show?
Okay, I feel good when I come to this show because you know, it boosts your talent, and also sometimes, you know, there's nowhere to talk because not everybody that is knowing you like on Facebook, YouTube, or something like that. But at this point, you know, some people will start following you and will learn from you. Also, yeah, you will be you will feel famous on that, and people will like it.
Okay. You know, most of the musicians, mostly the only thing that they pursue these days is fame and maybe having money. If someone was to be in touch with you, most specifically, just mention the fans, where do they get you? What's your Facebook name? What's your Instagram name? Your Instagram account name, the IG, the YouTube, all this stuff. So can you try to tell your fans how can they get you on Facebook, Twitter?
Okay, on Facebook, my name is Mj Official, and also my page Mj Official. Yeah, but it finishes with Z at the last. And also YouTube it is Mj Official. Also Instagram Mj Official, and also yeah, all this shit.
Okay. Thank you so much. You have been known as Mj Official. Today I would like you to tell your fans what's your real name. You are known as Mj Official, but they don't know what's your real name.
Okay, my real name is Mj Officialz-music-lifestyle. I'm a South Sudanese.
Alright, thank you MJ. We are so happy to host you in our show, Vugastar Talanta Show. Tuko ndani Hong Kong, this is your boy, the selector Lani. We do a lot of informative interviews. We call many of our musicians. In Kakuma, we have a lot of challenges that are affecting them. Many have withdrawn, they don't need to do music anymore. But with people like MJ who are sharing their experiences with people, I think those that are down and those who have quitted can join us again. Thank you again. This is Vuka Talent Show. Tuko Hong Kong Ndani, one of the renowned places in Kakuma. Thank you so much. This is Lani. And the cameraman there is Annex, the greatest producer in the camp. Thank you so much. God bless you all, Kakuma. We love you. God be with you.